Hi, Dombi, Katlapo. Thank you for joining. Dombi, where are you based? Where are you from? Which province? Hi, Wayne. Can you just indicate to me where are you currently? Which province are you in? Are you in South Africa or outside South Africa? Hi, Sisonke. Where are you from, Dombi? My guest, Sisonke, is joining me. Arms out. How is the weather? When you how
It's very hot.
we are on
it,
different parts of the world. It's freezing where I am. It's
yeah,
freezing where
yeah.
I am.
It is absolutely summer this side of the world.
Wow. Wow. I'm wearing a long jacket.
I can see.
It's not fair.
It's very hot this side. Trust me. How are you?
I'm well and yourself.
I'm okay, my dear. I'm okay.
No, no, let's just maybe give it 2 minutes for more people to join.
That's fine
So
with
it's
me, my
hot.
dear.
It's been hot. It's been hot since the beginning of the week.
You know, with PE weather, today it's hot, tomorrow it's cold. Yesterday it was a bit chilly, but today we were experiencing a serious heat wave. And I think tomorrow
Oh,
as well. So it fluctuates
oh.
from time to time.
Ah,
Fluctuates.
phew.
Today it's extremely hot, and I think also, okay, with such invites, they bring their own heat to the table as well. They
They
bring
bring
their
their
own
they bring their own heat. And
heat.
I like that. I
You
like
like
that.
that?
Let's start off with some steam. No more some
Yes,
steam.
that's very
Start
good. That's very good.
off with some steam.
Yes.
So how many more minutes do we have before it's time? I don't even have time here with me.
On my side, it says quarter to six.
Oh, it's 5:45.
Yeah, it's
So
quarter to
how
six on my side.
how has life been like? How has life been?
It's okay. It's a bit hectic, with school and exams coming up. We've already started with some continuous
Mm,
assessment, so it's quite hectic. Quite
shame. I
hectic.
can
I don't lie.
imagine. I
We
can
we we just
imagine.
we're trying to make sure that everything balances out. Yeah, one. We're trying to do
Mm,
it.
nothing,
Others,
nothing, nothing falls behind.
uh-uh.
Juggling,
You can't
juggling. Hmm?
juggle everything. Find a balance. That's important. Always find a
Yeah,
balance in everything. So yeah.
yeah.
And on your side, how have things been?
On my side, it's the between family and work, trying to
Mm,
balance the two. But on the family side, it's more hectic than most day. It's like you want to give yourself to everyone. You want to attend. You want to fetch them from school.
At the same time, you want to cook every meal, you want to prepare them in the morning, and sometimes it's not possible.
Becomes a
Sometimes
lot.
it's not, it becomes a lot. And you have yourself, and I have the 1-year-old, and she keeps me up at night. Yo,
Mm.
I'm trying to win her off. It's so difficult.
It's a battle.
Hey. But I think it's better to win her off when she's away, when she's far away
Mm.
from me, and I can't hear the crying and the screaming. But if she's right here, I just give up. I just give in. I just give in.
I guess it's the beauty of being a mother.
Hmm. Yo,
Comes with
I
the beauty of being a
it's so
mother.
it's taking a toll on me. I can just feel it that I wake up so tired because of that.
You still have to go to work.
I still have to go to work, and then I have this other work that I must do also on the side.
Mm.
But
Mm.
then at least when it comes to work, it's a bit more flexible.
Yeah, that's good.
It's a
That's
bit more flexible when it comes to
mm,
work.
that's good. It's
Otherwise,
good to
I can
see.
feel it. It's like
Yeah,
I think I need a chiropractor to just stretch my bones. So my bones feel like they are so like just need
they're
someone who's
very
gonna pull them apart. Who's
and it's
gonna
almost
pull them
it's
apart.
also yeah, so I think it also comes with that the body can
Mm,
tell that oh, it's been busy. I need
yeah.
to rest. Okay, I
Yes.
need to rest.
Yes. I think
So,
it's the first one that's just that first gives you the hint or that says something is off.
dala ngoku.
Something yeah, was 40 next year. 40 next year. Hey, in the next couple of months, it's not even I think in the next 6 months, six
It's a few
months,
months time.
6 months, 40. I'm on the I'm on the fourth floor. I'm going to the
Uh,
fourth floor.
oh,
Oh,
my second child, my daughter says that I look 25, so that's where I'm staying. I'm
no,
25. I'm not disputing
no,
that. 25 is
25.
okay. Turning
But
25
but
next
but
month.
but the bones are telling you a different story. The
Oh,
body
they
is
say it.
the body is saying I've been around for a long time now.
And the first floor is calling.
The fourth floor is calling your name.
It's a matter of chance, huh?
Yay!
But it's good to see you. It's good to
It
see you.
is. It is good to
After
see you.
our first meeting then.
Our first, yeah, this is after our first meet. Maybe let me just give a background to the people now who are here, just listening on us talking our own. Just a background on how myself and Sisonke met. My guest today is Sisonke Nkonki. She is from East London, but she's based in Port Elizabeth. So we met on the 27th of, was it July?
August.
July, ne? August, or of August. We are
Mm.
attending the Agenda Women Summit. So
Mm.
she came this side to Joburg. That was the first time ever we met. And when we met, it felt like we knew each other for since birth. Since birth. It felt like we knew each other since birth. So when we met, we just clicked, and we were the first person to arrive. They remember, but I was the first person to
You were
arrive.
the first one. I was the second one.
You were the second one to arrive. And when we met, we just
Mm.
clicked. It felt like
That,
I had known you for forever.
mm. Mm.
So we have not lost touch since then, and I don't think we'll ever lose touch. But
Ah,
instead now we need to make an official meet, and you
yeah.
see, and
Mm.
we need to make an official meet. But I
Mm.
can see that more people are joining. Thank you so much, ladies, for it's most ladies who are joining us. Thank you so much for joining. My name is Oyama Mdleleni, and my guest today, my first guest on my podcast, is Sisonke Nkonki. You are my first guest. So my podcast is called to Serve. It's called to serve. So greet everyone, madam.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so
Hi,
much
hi.
for this for this opportunity to be on
So
your platform and
Sisonke,
to be the first.
yeah, Sisonke, she wears many hats. She is a mother, she is a wife, and she is an entrepreneur. Sisonke, as I've mentioned, she is originally from East London in the Eastern Cape. Those who don't know where East London is, but now she's based in Port Elizabeth, also in the Eastern Cape. Sisonke
Mm,
is a founder of a you call it a what do you call it there on your website? You call it a platform, but I think
mm,
I think it's bigger than a platform. But you call it a platform. It's
mm,
called Sisonke Women Round Tables, SWRT.
mm,
Uh, Sisonke Women Roundtable focuses on girl child empowerment, girls between the ages of 15 and 19, and also women empowerment. So the vision of SWRT is to inspire women, to celebrate women, and collaborate ideas and solutions for betterment of women in society. I don't
mm.
think it's just only Eastern Cape. I think also just probably even the
Yeah,
whole
venturing out.
continent.
Yes.
Probably the whole continent of Africa. Maybe, who knows, even abroad. But
Hey,
I
I'm
think
saying thank you.
even abroad, there's a bigger vision for this.
Oh
So
yes. Mm.
just now to break off the ice, tell us now, oh, you've mentioned that you are currently studying and then you're trying to balance between studies and family. What is taking more pressure now? What is giving you more pressure in terms of your life, whether it's health, finances, family, business? What is giving you more pressure currently?
Okay. Thank you for that question, Oyama. And once again, thank you so much for this opportunity to be the first guest on this lovely platform of yours. I really feel honored. For me, when it comes to pressure, I think that each of these areas that you've highlighted, they bring their own pressure to the table. You know, be it pressure that you would see more positively, or pressure that you would feel that it's prompting you to do something. For instance, with family, the pressure that the family brings onto the table is the positive pressure to say that knowing the character that I am, I'm a very shy person, I'm very introverted, and I have some self-limiting beliefs that I'm working on. So the pressure that they bring as the family support is pressure to say that, okay, you've done this now. How about taking the next step? How about venturing into those areas that you've always been fearful of? So that's the kind of pressure that the family brings onto the table. It's positive pressure,
Mhm.
pressure that allows me to actually say, you know what, I'm afraid of doing this, but let me give it a try and see what I gain from that. And then in terms of the other areas, the work, the finances, the health, uh, as you've mentioned, I was a public servant, and now I've become this person that is self-employed. In terms of work pressure, there's always that expectation of doing better. There's always that expectation of saying, you know what, this is how I see doing something. And if it does not meet that expectation, then that comes with its
Mhm.
own pressure.
Yeah.
With
Mhm.
finances, transitioning from being from being a 9 to 5 person in the public servant, earning a stable salary, to being self-employed and making sure that, there's money that is brought onto the table, has its own pressures. So I think for me, pressure varies from the areas that you lift up and you highlight. I think
Mhm.
that's what I can say. So in terms of pressure, those are the kinds of pressures
Yeah.
that I've experienced in the different areas that you've mentioned. Yeah.
Yeah, so it just depends on how you see it. It's all
Depends
about
on
it's
how
all
you see
about
it.
perspective. It's all about perspective. It doesn't have to
Yeah.
be a negative pressure, but there's also
No,
you can also find
in the
positive pressure.
pressure
Okay.
as well.
So take us back to your childhood. what memories stand out the most that have impacted or that have made the person that you are today, and also the choices that you have taken also in your life?
Mm. Um, a childhood memory, it won't necessarily go back to, the childhood years, but it will go
Mm,
back to a memory that I think is one that's taken me to where I am today, is
mm,
being a young mother. I had my first child at the age of 18. That was a life-changing experience. My childhood, normal childhood,
mm,
Siakula, second daughter to a family of three, so normal childhood. But then what molded me into the person that I am today is the experience of having my first child at the age of 18. It
mm,
really changed and impacted the way I see things and the way I then needed to see life in general. Because Moss, you're starting first year tertiary, and it's all about you. You are branching out. You are becoming this person now.
mm,
That
mm.
to start living their life.
The
What
independence. Mm,
independent.
mm,
And then, but for me, first year I have my first daughter. Now it changes the mind. It changes how you see things and
mm,
how you approach things. So for me, it impacted me in a sense that it allowed me to say, okay, this is what's happened now. How are you moving forward from this current reality that you're facing?
mm,
One, you need to focus on your studies. There's no time to play now. There's no time for a nice time. Where you will try and balance and enjoy your time and your moment as a teen, but at the
yes.
back of your mind that you have to like really prioritize school. You have
Mm,
to work hard. You have to know that in working hard, you're going to graduate and you're going to get a job, because there's this life that you're brought into this world that needs to be taken care of. You can't really say that uzamnikela abazali, to be
mm,
responsible and
mm,
ukuyekelela ukubona and waste time. So
mm,
that's how that memory changed my life, and that got me to where I am. Because with being a teen mom, there comes opportunity. I always say that I was afforded an opportunity to go to school and to complete my studies so that I am able to provide for my daughter.
mm.
In other
Yes.
scenarios, I think we all know that there are certain instances where parents will say, okay, Mdala, you've decided, so yeah, find employment, studies will
Yes.
come later.
Yes.
But for
Mm,
me, I was fortunate enough to have parents that said that okay, we are going to allow you to finish your studies, because we know that with education comes a better future. So that's a memory that really impacted, and that really allowed me to see what you know what
mm,
what what has been a positive and a blessing in my life, you see. And it has allowed me to be able then to feel the need to lend that hand to others
yeah.
that might find themselves in a
Mm,
similar situation.
mm,
That what, there's opportunities out there despite the situation that you might find yourself in, but
mm.
changing your mindset and being real to say that okay, this is the current situation, how do you move from this situation? So that's what comes to mind. That's something that impacted my journey and impacted where I am today.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Mm.
Wow. Okay. Back to SWRT. When was SWRT established? And how was the process of giving birth to her?
Okay, you laugh at this. SWRT was an idea that it dates back to 2010. It
As far
was
back
it
as
was
what? 12 years
as
ago.
far back as that 2010. It was an idea written in many journals. I love journaling, so I'd always write the things that I want to do, the projects that I want to run. So
Mm,
in writing, I never had the courage to say, okay, I'm actually going to do this. you know I'd always find a way to shy away and to say I am not ready,
mm,
or because of those self-limiting beliefs that
mm,
I shared about fear. I'd shy away from sharing it with anyone, and from actually saying, okay, I'm starting with the implementation of this idea. So I was a part of a transformational coaching group, 2018, 2019, if I'm not mistaken. And that's when, in that session, we were the first cohort. That's when, in that session, I put my books, my journals on the table. We were having one-on-ones with my mentor. I said, okay, this is all that I've written since 2010, and I've been struggling to actually get it up and running because of my self-limiting beliefs. So we had a one-on-ones. We went through a very rigorous process of coaching and mentoring. And in 2020, that's when I made the decision to say, we are doing this. 2020 October,
10 years
it was
later.
launched.
10 years
10
later.
years, 10 years later. And it was launched in 2020 October under the Mental Health Awareness Program.
Okay.
So it was launched then. And from then, I've never looked back. I've never looked back, because I think the experience and the reception of what I stand for,
Yes.
it really
Was
then, it
positive.
and it came to life. I could see that, you've got something going here, you've got something going, you've got something that's going to make a difference in so many people's lives, So obviously it comes with its own challenges, it comes with its own challenges, because, when you start a new chapter, there's always, I'll say, an enemy that wants to deter you from that new chapter. You're starting something new, you're starting something that's going to impact lives and make a difference in people's lives, but there'll always be something that wants to deter you from that journey. So there were challenges, but I think I was mentally prepared, if I could say that. I'm all for positive mindset. So I think I was mentally prepared by that time to say that, okay, this is a challenge. Okay, this is how we deal with it. This is what we learn from it. And this is what we're going to lift up from the challenge that we're seeing going forward. I've never looked back. There were challenges, but I've never looked back. Instead,
so at that time, you were still permanent. You were still working your 9 to 5.
I was still working 9 to 5, 2020. I was still working 9 to 5. And then in 2021, I stopped working end of last year. So in 2021, beginning of the year, I was starting to roll out programs in a school that I had partnered with. And I saw that, you know what, I'm not one to shortchange, something that I'm doing. I love giving it my
Giving it all your all.
And my position at that time was a deputy director in a very demanding office, So I would work beyond hours. Now, mind you, you work beyond hours, and then there is this project that you're busy with. You do not have to lose the sight of this project that you started, because you always want to ensure people believe in what you're doing, and they understand that it's not a fly-by-night thing. Yeah. So I had.
It's not a side kick. It's not a side kick thingy.
It's not a side kick.
It's your future. It's your future.
This is what I want to do. So I made the decision to say that, you know what, I want to give it my all. I want to be there on a full-time basis. And if it means that I'm going to have to drop this 9 to 5, then I'll do so. And also in the midst of all that, you know the importance of what we say out to the universe. Because I was thinking a while back that what we say and what we speak out is very important. Because growing up in high school and in the first days of tertiary, I was like, nah, I don't see myself working at 65. At 40, I want to retire at 40 and run my own thing. Look at me now, almost 40, and already I'm in the process. So it's very important.
You see that? It is. It's very important.
To what we speak out, So it's been lovely, but hectic at the same time. I don't want to lie.
So you were working full time, and then you were giving time now to SWRT as and when, or you were intentional in terms of saying every day I'm going to dedicate so much time, after, whether it's in the morning before I go to the office or when I come back home from the office? So how was that like structured like?
You know, with COVID, there are some great benefits that
Oh
we got from COVID.
yeah,
Was
yeah.
remote work that was
Mm,
very necessity then. So I was able to say that I'm working from home, and from home I'm doing ABC. You're able to structure your time in such a sense that
mm,
you accommodate both uh both um
mm,
both realities, if I can put it that
yes.
way. You're able to say that, okay, these are
Mm,
my tasks, okay, so I'm giving so much time to this. At the same time, I'm going to be focusing on this. So with COVID, I was able to juggle the two. And if it at times when I had to, because it was when restrictions had been were not as hectic as when COVID had started.
mm,
So there were
mm,
times when I'd be able to say, okay, I'm going to have a session at this particular school from a particular time to a particular time. If it's when I was going to have a lunch hour at work, then I schedule my program with the school at that time. And then I always go back to my other 9 to 5 responsibilities, you know. So I was able to deal with it in that way. But common sense also came back. You know what? COVID is going to end, and we are going to be then asked to go back on a full-time basis.
yes.
Will I
Mm.
really be able to balance the two? And that's when the decision to leave my 9 to 5 like really said, okay, no, it's time. 14 years in public service. I need to now
Mm.
venture into this and give it my
For-
my full
14 years, 14 years is a long
yeah.
time. So how was the transition like now saying, okay, I am
Mm.
living this 9 to 5 that has been giving me a constant salary each and every month. I know that at the end of the month, I have money that I'm going to use to pay off my bills and do one, two, three with.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to the full time now to this passion, this purpose, this thing where where you felt you were being called to do it full time. So how was the transition like now? Also preparing yourself mentally and your family also. Are you still there?
It
Can't
was
hear
hectic,
you.
I don't want
Yes.
to lie.
Oh, yes. Yes, you can speak.
Very
Sisonke.
supportive family. Hi, yes, I am.
Yeah, you
Can
were breaking there. Yeah, I can hear you now.
you can hear me now?
You're still breaking a bit. Keep on talking. Keep on talking. Sisonke. It's your network. Can you speak to see if I can hear you? I think I can hear you, but I think it's frozen somehow. Maybe you need to
Okay. So
go
it's
out and come back again. Yeah. Speak. Say something. Thetha mfazi, thetha, say something. Phuma Sisonke uphinde ungene ke. Hi Nanakazi. Hi Ayola. Ladies, can you please indicate where you are? Where are you based? Truly? Are you in Joburg? Are you in Durban? Where are you? Are you in the Eastern Cape? Ayola, which province are you at? Oh, Tuli is in Joburg. Oh, Soweto. Okay, nice. Hi, Msanda Ayaka. Oh, wow. It seems like Sisonke is having some challenges. She's been sending me a request to join, but every time I accept. Oh, you are in Cape Town, Ayaka. Wow. Yes, I'm trying to get her back on the live. She seems to be struggling on her side. Well, she's been sending me the request and I'm accepting. But then it comes back saying she's unable to join. There she is. There she
Hi,
is.
can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. I can hear you
Oh,
now.
okay. Sorry about that network.
No. It's most of these things happen.
Sorry
So
about
you
that.
were at the point of telling us now the transitioning from full-time employment now to doing your own thing and losing the income.
The
And
stability, the stable
what did you
salary.
say to the family? Yes, what happened?
It was quite hectic, you know. It was a very strenuous
Mm,
transition, but then
mm,
not as strenuous as to a point where I doubt what I'm doing, or I question this journey that I'm
mm,
taking. Because fortunate
mm,
enough, I have a very supportive family. You know, I have a very supportive husband, and I have a very supportive uh, family structure. You know,
mm,
my kids, my mother, and my siblings. So it, I think the right timing for something comes with
mm,
with its own settling mindset. You know, as much as my
mm,
concern was that, ish, my daughter is doing her first year this year. My other two, it's grade R and grade 3. Am I really, they're still young, you know, am I really
yeah.
going to now take this plunge now at this point in time? But then
Mm,
something else said to me that it's the right timing. You, at the back of your mind, you've always wanted to do this, you've always wanted to leave, but you've always then fallen back to say that, ish, but what about the salary? Will I be able then to will we be able to maintain ourselves and our kids,
mm,
you know, and the
mm,
responsibilities that we have to maintain as parents? But I've come to accept and to understand and to work with what we have, you know, to work
mm,
within the parameters of what we have. You're born. So
mm.
yeah.
Well, some things at time they work themselves out.
Exactly.
But sometimes you get paralyzed because you overanalyze and you find that now you are on step 51. I'm homeless. My house is repossessed.
Exactly.
but you but
Exactly.
and that is not going to happen. It's just that your mind
Mm.
just takes you, tries to
It
protect and just takes you to step number 50 instead of just taking each step
exactly.
at a time, each step at a
And it
time.
tries to derail you as well from the bigger picture and your bigger purpose, you know. It tries to
Mm,
derail you by bringing up all of those distractions
yes.
to say that, hey, okay,
Mm,
what's going to happen now? What's going to happen? Hey, in
mm,
3 years time, what's going to happen? What do you think is going to happen? But, you know,
mm,
trusting in God and saying, you know what, this is what this is what you've planted in me. This is my
mm,
purpose, and I know that in this decision I'm not making it alone, but I'm making it with
yeah.
you, you know,
Yes.
holding
Yes.
my hand, and I'm
Yeah.
giving it all to you. I know you're going to take me through.
Trusting the
Trusting
source,
God.
the above.
Yeah,
Yeah, that is so
exactly.
important. That is so important. So tell us now, in in giving birth to SWRT, you have your experiences now in terms of growing up and everything that you, whether mistakes and everything that you went through, or or also experience in terms of your family. And now, also now having to believe in yourself, and also you mentioned God and also your dreams. How have you also incorporated all those things to be able to give birth to SWRT, to in terms of now the concept of what it is, what it entails, the girl child empowerment and also the woman empowerment, the programs that you have incorporated? How have you been able to also your as you've been working in the public sector for 14 years, your experiences, how have you married all of those things together? And then, because I believe each and every part of our lives take us to the next step and to the next step. There's nothing that you lose along the way. Even the mistakes, they also form part of your experience and they can take you to the next level. So how have you been able to finally marry all of these things, parts of your life, into this now, giving birth to this big project?
Okay. You know, with being a teen mom, right? I took that as God putting me in the path towards my purpose.
Mm.
So
Mm.
I took it in that light. I said,
Mm.
because you know, at the back of your mind, you have those those voices that say that, hey, I don't think I would have turned out the way I've turned out, you know, had this experience not happened in my life. You know, there
So
are those
true.
things that actually
So
say to
true.
you that, I don't think you would have turned out the way you've turned out, you know. So with being a teen mom, that said to me that God is channeling me towards the path to my
Mm.
purpose, right?
Mm.
My experience, I'm an HR professional, you know, so that allowed me to work with people. With HR comes empathy, you know. With HR
Yeah.
comes a positive mindset. There comes
Mm.
a time where you need to encourage. I was specializing in the field of recruitment and selection. Now with that, you interact with people that are pinning their hopes on this job that they've applied for, you know.
Mm.
Now
Mhm.
that comes
Mhm.
with the responsibility of making sure that as the secretariat, you you put that person at ease, you know.
Mhm.
Interviews come with a daunting process, you know, but
Mhm.
as a practitioner you need to understand that your role is not only to be the secretariat, but it's also to instill some positivity in the person that's being
Mhm.
invited to the interviews, the person that's applying for that position, because it might be their last hope, or they might be hoping to make a
Mhm.
difference in their family and in their lives with this particular post that they've applied for. So with being a teen mom, with my experience in the HR field, it sort of then all made sense in the space that I'm in now, because I'm working with communities, I'm working with the girl child, a community or a woman that's going to come to you and say that, you know what, this is the challenge that I'm having, or a
Mhm.
child that's going to come to you and say that this is the situation that I'm facing at home. You know, I think that without those other two areas of my life that I had I not experienced or been experienced in those two areas, I would probably not be able to be empathetic. You know, I would not be able to have that attitude that's going to say, you know what,
Mhm.
I might not have anything to offer you, but I am
Mhm.
able to listen to you, and I'm able
Mhm.
to you know, to be that source of comfort at that particular moment
Mhm.
when you need comfort, you know. So I think it's always it feeds onto the next level. It feeds onto the next level. Everything
Mhm.
that has happened to where I am now has always been for this bigger picture, which is SWRT and what it seeks to achieve, and the lives it seeks to impact. So yeah.
Wow. Ah, wow. The way you've just the way you've explained it and how all of these
Mm.
areas have been able to
They
come
fit
together
together.
and
Mm.
wow.
Mm.
Okay. So
That's
in
how I see it.
SWRT, what is bringing you profit? What is bringing the business profit currently?
SWRT is a not-for-profit
Okay.
organization, you know.
Uh-huh.
So what I do is something that I want to do, you know. But obviously, for programs, we need some kind of resource.
Yes, you do.
Since
Mm-hmm.
2010, it's been self
Oh, okay.
event or a program as participants in that program. So you have them paying in money to be a part of the program. But other than that, there is no funding or any form of sponsorship or donation that the organization is receiving. But yeah, that's something we are trying to work towards. As much as we are a not-for-profit organization, but we do need that element of support, monetary support, so that we can execute the programs that we want to execute fully to our communities. So yeah.
Without having to worry about the resources.
No, without having to worry about the resources. But yeah, we've been okay. You know, when you love something, and when you live for something, you don't mind taking from your cup, you know, because you know that the fulfillment that you get is much bigger than the fulfillment. Money brings happiness. Don't get me wrong. Money brings happiness, and money is a necessity because we need it for life to happen. But
Yes.
the when you've made a difference, even if it's one person's life, when a person comes to you and says that, you know what, that session that you had really changed me in a particular way, there is no greater reward than that. There is no greater reward, because it really says that, you know what, you're doing right.
I'm on the right path. I'm on the right path.
You're doing well. You're doing fine.
I'm on the right path.
We obviously do need like monetary resources. You know, monetary resources are needed, because for us to effectively execute the programs that we have, money is a necessity.
You have featured on Espresso Morning Show. And then also I've seen you on Bona Magazine. So you are featuring on mainstream media. How did that come about, and what has it done for your business? That that exposure.
The exposure. With Bona, I was featured by a writer who's always believed in SWRT. Before Bona, she featured me on there's an online platform called Go Hustle. So I was featured on the Go Hustle platform first before Bona. So from there, she is also a writer for Ibona, and she thought that let's bring you on board, because she believes in SWRT, she believes in what it stands for, and she was also, I think, leaving your 9 to 5 for your passion or your purpose. So I think an article featured that, because that was of the feature. And then came Express, the story says of the ESO show. It's a Thursday. I'm off to get a haircut. I get this call from a number that I don't know. I pick the phone up, and this lady says to me, "Are you Sisonke Nkonki?" So I say, "Yes." From SWRT, yes. "Okay, we are from the Espresso show, and we wish to invite you on a topic on sisterhood." Trust me, I'm able to think very fast. I don't get shocked in an obvious way. So I said, "Okay, I'm on the road. Please, can you please just send me an email so that I'm able to look at the email, and then we can take it from there."
Yes.
Then she asked, "Are you based in the Eastern Cape only, or are you able to travel?" I said, "No, we're able to travel. We go wherever." Okay, get the email. It's an invitation to feature on the show on the Monday. First thing that came. Now, who shows you say that, okay, we've got this person from Eastern Cape, self-limiting belief, because we have a tendency saying that what you are doing when you only see it in of yours that you are doing. You do not see it being something that can be seen by someone else from a bigger platform, and they might find interest. So I started myself, hey, where did they hear about me? Who called them? But then answers came back to say, but no, why are you doubting yourself? Why are you
Why not?
doubting
Why
the fact
not?
that they could have come across your page on
Yeah.
Facebook and
Mm.
they believed that you are the right fit
Your line is
for
so
this
bad.
feature. God,
Mm.
always perfect. It's never wrong. So that's how I got on the Espresso show. I'm still not sure. I think one of the Facebook. I'm not sure. You understand? But it was a simple phone call on
Yeah.
a Thursday
You
morning. Then
you are
I did
you are
not
a
have
bit
left
behind.
Cape
I'm still
Town and
listening. You are
running
still
away straight.
talking on the side.
Must be my network.
Your network is so bad. I'm still listening. You are still talking.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. I can't hear
Hello.
you now. Yes. Your line is so terrible.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now, but I don't know for how long. Your line is so terrible. So you, all in all, you're saying you don't know who is
It's very
watching.
bad. I'm sorry. I'm that, yeah, and on my side I was saying, so that's how they explain. You can't hear me now. Do you want me to maybe okay.
Mm.
It's very terrible. I'm sorry about that.
It, yeah.
And the importance
Okay.
of what you're
So
doing.
you're saying you never know who's watching or listening to every time you post something, every time you make a video or make a reel, you don't know who is watching and listening to that. So never think that no one is watching or listening to
Yes.
what you're posting.
Yes.
But it may take time and it may need consistency from your side in terms of posting every now and again or
Yes.
probably every single day to get yourself noticed by people.
Yes.
And
Yes. Definitely.
especially if it's going to be mainstream, they want to know, is this a real deal or is it just a person
Yes.
who wakes up today and they think of doing this, and then the next morning they change and then they do something else. But there has to
Exactly.
be consistency also on your side
Exactly. Consistency
and
and being intentional in everything that you're
intentional.
posting, because intention goes a long way. Don't just post for the sake of posting, but post things that are that you won't mind being questioned on. Post
Mm,
things that
mm.
are going to put across the message of what you stand for and what your organization stands for. That's very important.
Wow, that is so true. That is
It's
so
very
true.
important.
So, and that consistency now, it goes back to your why. Why are you doing this in the first place? That's why you will always have an answer when you're being asked, because you have a reason why, and the reason is bigger than you. It's bigger than you because
Yes.
there are people who are waiting out there who needs this information, who
Exactly.
need who need someone who has made it to the other side, or someone who is on the journey of making it to the other side while they are following on behind, or maybe someone for them to even prevent maybe something that you went through. They don't have to repeat the same mistakes that we've
Yes.
repeated.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow,
Exactly.
that is so important in terms of now expanding your business. I believe as human beings we are multi-talented. We have so many gifts and talents. We're not just we don't have to only just focus on one thing, but we can broaden our horizon. So what does the future look like for SWRT? Are there any new business ventures that you are planning or maybe you have already embarked on? What does the future look like?
future for SWRT looks very bright, I must say. We've got projects already that are lined up for the upcoming year. We've got, I'll just mention a few. We've got a career expo that we have lined up. Very important, especially for the Eastern Cape community, because we know we have a rural landscape, and in some of those areas, they do not necessarily get all the information and the resources as compared to being your urban or semi-urban area. So we have a career expo that is planned for next year with a focus on your rural communities, you know. And in that rural community, our focus of the career expo, it's on your agribusiness, your industrialization, and your oceans economy, because we know that our landscape in the Eastern Cape, we've got lovely land, we've got an ocean that, or a coastline that we need to then make sure that it plows back into the community. Those natural resources that we have, we need to encourage our learners to say that, you know what, there is something that you can do with the plot of land that you have at the back of your yard. There's something that you can do with the ocean that you have right across from where you are staying, you know. So it's the Career Expo, it's the youth program on with a focus on teen pregnancy and many other areas, that social areas that are affecting our youth, especially our girls. We've got what else have we got? We've got a few programs lined up. I think those are the ones that are coming up to mind right now because of their magnitude and being the ones that we've already started working towards, because you know, most early planning, it's going to be big, and you don't want to do for the sake of doing. You need to ensure that you've got all the role players involved. So yeah, you know, 2023 is going to be big for SWRT, and you know, with that said, we are also collaborating with quite a few people, because you know, sometimes you don't want to do things on your own. We've all got something to contribute in our various spaces, you know. So we're looking at collaborations and partnerships in the process of executing those programs, so that the message spreads across, and it's also not a process or a program that is going to be rigid. You want flexibility, and you want the input of many other stakeholders and many other people that are in the same line of business to contribute towards, so that we ensure that we execute on on something that is big and something that is going to make an impact. So yeah, for SWRT, the future is looking bright. I don't want to lie.
Now, in preparing yourself to be able to have the capacity to receive even bigger fundings now from corporate or even the public sector, to be able to expand the business, what are some of the things, or perhaps maybe coaching or things that you are doing in preparing yourself to be able to have the capacity to receive more, whether if we can receive maybe funding of millions and all of that? What are you doing?
You know, with such, you always need to be prepared, and you always need to ensure that you are appointed their board and committee that is structured in such a way that it's got a treasurer, it's got legal services, it's got a chairperson, it's got the respective advisory members that are creative, that are going to contribute to the bigger picture. So when we receive funding, we know that we are going to be ready, in the sense that we have a structure in place that is going to hold us accountable as an organization, to say that, okay, there are these funds, You know what to do with them. You don't. I'm just sorry. I'm just charging my phone here. You have this governance structure in place, which is then going to be allowing you to account for each and every cent that you get. It's going to allow me to account as an organization for each and every project that I seek to execute.
You got cut.
The one that's going to bring me back to earth to say, but no, you can't get cut. Am I fine now?
You are fine now, yeah. Okay.
So that governance structure is the one that's going to, if I put on the table 50 projects, it's the one that's going to say, but come back to reality. You can't be doing all of these. We can't be able to do all of these in 1 year, something like that. So we've recently appointed a governance structure that is going to be accountable and responsible for all of our programs and projects that we seek to implement, as well as the funding that comes in. We have a treasurer and a legal services that is going to be able to take care of all of those finance related and legal related matters into consideration. Yeah. So that's how the organization is set up and prepared to welcome those sponsorships and big donations.
Wow. That is important to have those accountability measures in place, because we know the taxmen at the end of the day, it was so many businesses, they shut down because of that, not having those measures in place in the beginning of the business. And you have these funds that are coming through, and you can't account how you've spent these funds or where you have spent these funds. You touched earlier on, we are wrapping up now. You touched earlier on beliefs. What were some of the beliefs that you had when it comes to money that you have had now to let go of? I've had some of those also in my life, where you've had to let go of because they were not serving you. Instead, maybe they were just pulling you back, and I believe a lot of us have these beliefs. That's why we view money in a specific way, whether we view money as this thing of saying, now if a black person is rich, they have either they are corrupt or they are in witchcraft. Such beliefs. What were some of the beliefs that you've had to let go of because they were not serving you anymore?
Yes. When it comes to money, when I was still earning a stable salary, they used to come a time where when you get paid, you're like, I worked so hard this month, I need to reward myself. And with reward comes reckless spending, unnecessary spending at times. So with this transition to being self-employed, I've realized that reward can come at a later stage, or you need to be very wise in terms of how you utilize each and every cent, because you no longer have that stability. So each and every cent you need to be accountable for. If you want that, you go into a shop and you see this dress for 2,000 rand. Is it really a necessity? Do I really need it? So those are the kinds of questions I ask myself now. Do I really need this shoe? No, man, I don't need this shoe. And it really helps. So the shift in mindset has been great when it comes to my money beliefs. I am no longer that reckless spender.
Impulsive spender. Now you have to think before
you have to think twice and really ask yourself, do I really need that?
Because you don't know when it's the next time, where is it coming from the next time. So you have to always tread carefully in terms of your spending. I think that one is when it comes to money beliefs, a lot of us, it's an exercise that most of us need to go through for us to also be able to have the capacity now to receive even more. Because when you have these limiting beliefs or the belief of lack, because now when you study economics at school, it tells you that it's about studying the limited resources. You then have that limitation that says, oh, okay, so there's limited resources. That means we all have to fight for these limited resources. Whereas I believe there's abundance. Now I've shifted from that mindset of limitation to say there's abundance, and we all have a share on that abundance. So let's all go and get our share from that abundance and remove, shift from these limiting beliefs. Thank you so much for joining me,
Thank you.
us. I would just want to say this prayer over you, your family, and your future endeavors, that may the Lord keep you and protect you. May the Lord shine his face upon you and be gracious to you. And may the Lord show you his favor and give you his peace. That is my
Thank you
prayer
so
over
much.
you, your family, and anything that you touch, that it just turns to gold. All the blessings over you and your family. Thank you so much. But I think you need to again elaborate later on. Maybe I will invite you some other time on the NGO, how to start an NGO, and also the processes, because you've gone through this process and you have a lot of wisdom to share when it comes to that. But at a later stage, I will invite you again to come and share with our listeners and our viewers in terms of how to tackle that process. But thank you so much, lady. Thank you so much, friend.
Definitely. Thank you so much for the opportunity of having me. Thank you so much. I'm really honored. Thank you so much.
Take care.
Because, all
Ngozi
right, thank
kakhulu.
you. All
Bye
right
bye.
then.
Bye
Bye.
bye. Bye. Okay, thank you guys. That was Sisonke Nkonki. I hope you guys enjoyed the interview. I hope you guys enjoyed the interview. Dr. Zinzi, you sent me a request to join the live. Should I put you on now? Because I'm not sure what you want to share, but I'm intrigued in terms of hearing what you have to share. Do you want me to put you on so that maybe even if it can be just you and me? But thank you so much to those who took their time and joined the interview. Thank you so much. Oh, okay, it was a mistake. Okay, no, maybe it's a sign. Next time I will invite you. Who knows? But thank you, ladies, and if there is a gentleman on the live, thank you so much for taking your time and listening to the interview. So I will be having this podcast every Wednesday at 6:00. Next week I will be having another guest joining us. Thank you so much. May the Lord bless you, and have a wonderful evening, and take care. Until next time then. Goodbye. Thank you.